Hello to the entire Bob and Sheri family. 'Tis Craig from Wake Forest, the town, not the university. I'm listening to the podcast where you're talking about coffee and cream. Lamar, you just asked, do you use cream in your coffee? And Max said yes, half and half. Sheri, half and half. Bob, half and half. And you said heavy cream. And they just jumped all over you? They can just chill. I also use heavy cream if I'm going to put cream in my coffee. Half and half, that's not cream. That's half and half. And milk is just worthless for coffee. No flavor.
I agree.
You go get it, Lamar.
Right.
I mean, if I have heavy cream, I'll use it, but I don't buy it just for that. I love how you just shake your fist at like the heavens when it comes to what you put in your mouth. I swear.
All right. Half and half means you're going halfway there. Half ain't nothing. Half. Don't be half. Half is nothing. Whole. Go all the way or don't go. That's my whole point.
Half is not nothing. Half is still pretty good. I've discovered throughout my life I've been kind of a half, but I've done okay. I haven't won a Marconi, but I still am on the air, so that's kind of like halfway there. I was an 11 handicap at golf. It's not full cream being a 3, but I was still playing.
Well,
guys would still play with me.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In all the elements of your life that you've been half, when you pick up a cup of coffee, you have a chance to be whole. Not just whole, but heavy. Heavy. So take the opportunity. All them halves are great, and I applaud halves. I mean, listen, I'm a half-ass my own self. I mean, don't get me wrong. But if I get that opportunity to take the whole, the heavy, the best, the cream that's at the top, and scoop it off with that good butter fat and put it in my coffee and swirl it around and take a sip, that's living, buddy.
We've got another talk back that talks about this.
Hey, Bob and Sheri team. This is Kelsey calling from Tennessee. I was the one who called in about putting your bacon in flour and baking it that way because it gets it extra crisp. And I just love that we're all out here giving each other food tips like every other day. It's the best because I came to y'all with a tip and y'all came back with a tip for me. So I'm going to try putting the bacon in cornstarch and seeing how those compare to the bacon in the flour. But also, I was calling in today to back up what Lamar said yesterday on the podcast, maybe it was a few days ago, about the heavy cream in the coffee. I'm going to back him up because, honestly, heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of heavy cream goes a lot further than if you were to use like 5 tablespoons of creamer. And these days, creamers have like gross vegetable oils in it and things like that. So I just have to say, I'm going to back him up on this. Heavy cream all the way. And all you need, like I said, is a tablespoon. And it's better than milk and half, and it's only 50 calories. Not that matters. And then also a tip for that is add a little bit of vanilla extract or almond extract to the heavy cream and then kind of froth it up if you have a little frother and put it in your coffee and you're good to go. So I support Lamar all the way on the heavy cream in the coffee. Again, I'm going to try that cornstarch bacon and I hope y'all have tried the flour in the bacon and I hope y'all have a good day. And again, I just love that we're all out here giving each other food tips. Because food's important, right? All right, love y'all.
Oh, it is
Bye.
important. Yes, it is. God bless you, girl. God bless
that's like
you.
That's like a second job, just making a cup of coffee. I don't want to get that involved.
Oh, no,
Do you want the best cup of coffee or not? Right before
you warm up your cream, just a little drop of vanilla extract, then warm up the cream so that it infuses it, and then pour that into your cup.
Sign up for our newsletter. We never spam you.
Never did.
Get Bob and Sheri exclusives. Just go to bobandsheri.com.
Mary, she was on the beach with my dog and Finn, and they're, walking along and he's romping in the surf. It's his very favorite thing to do. And she comes upon a guy. There weren't very many people on the beach. She comes upon a guy who is surf fishing. And he turns to see her and starts yelling, "Come here, come here." And she goes, "What is going on with this?" And she gets over, and the guy has caught, I don't know, like a 4-foot sand shark. And the sand shark is, flopping around and everything. I think the guy, he was a visitor, and I think he was surprised that he caught a sand shark. And so he wanted to be able to let it go free. But, you got to get the hook out. So he said to her, "Go to my toolbox and get the wrench." And she goes, "Okay." We have a video of this. Now, it's very short. There's a picture and a video. Heather is posting it. You can see Finn. You can see Finn in it. He holds open the shark's mouth and says, "Get the hook out of his mouth to Mary." And we don't have video of this, but she went right in there and she's trying to twist it. You know how you just can't yank it. You got to try to twist it out of the fish's mouth. So she's trying to do that and moving it back and forth and moving it back and forth. But she's got her hand right in this creature's mouth. And she says, "I can't get it." Just then, like out of the blue, this elderly man shows up and he says, "What are you doing?" And they explained. And he says, "Let me have the wrench." Again, the fish is just flapping around. And he's working it, and he got it out. And then Mary and the fisherman guy start pushing the fish. They're worried that he's been out of the water too long, and he's not moving as much. They start pushing him and pushing him. All of a sudden, he's underwater, and off he goes, and off he goes. But the thing that cracked me up so much, and this is in the video, is there's a shark flopping around, fighting for its life, and Finn is standing there like dum-de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum, with his goofy Finn look. So it was a happy ending, and I was very proud of her for not going, "Ooh, I'm not doing that. Ooh." Nah, she went right for it.
Oh, if I had a chance to put my hand in a shark's mouth, yeah, I'm going to take it.
You do the same thing? Really?
Yeah, of course. It's an adventure. Yeah. You wouldn't?
I probably would. Sand sharks are not overly aggressive, are they? I don't know all of my sharks, but I think that they're a little less aggressive than some.
I'm
That's
not putting
exciting.
I'm not putting my hand in there. They've got teeth. Those teeth could come down on my hand. That would hurt, and I would bleed.
Yeah, listen, Kevin is not a fan of my impulsiveness. My thinking would be it's a caught shark. The fisherman's got it under control. It's out of the water. It's probably getting tired. Maybe it's starting to hallucinate because it's not getting oxygen flowing over its gills. I like my chances. But I agree, Max. This is how tragedies happen. You're right. I'm wrong here. I'm absolutely wrong here.
They say tiger sharks are not sand sharks, the same thing, not aggressive towards humans. So you're right about that, unless they are threatened or provoked. But they do have long, sharp teeth.
Well,
and they would feel provoked if you had
reticence.
your hand in their mouth. They would feel provoked.
I think so.
Yeah.
She's done it again. Sheri Lynch named one of the most influential women in radio. It's Bob and Sheri. Sheri.
Can I tell you boys about my afternoon? Can I?
Yeah.
Let me tell you
Yes,
about it.
please.
So,
Please.
so I was sitting on the couch with my laptop, and my husband Kevin comes in the room, and he goes, "Hey, woman, guess what I found in the garage?" And I said, "A raccoon." I was hopeful, that we had a raccoon in our garage, and it was not a raccoon. I said, he goes, "No, not a raccoon." I said, "Well, what'd you find?" He said, "I found a tripod with the same mounting base as my camera." I was like, "Well, good for you. That's amazing." He goes, "And you know what that means? We can shoot a video now, an adult video." And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's the only thing that's held me back all these years is we didn't have a tripod. Now that we have a tripod, lights, camera, action." So I said, "No, we can't shoot a video." "But why not?" I said, "Well, a couple of reasons. Because if I ever saw that video, you would never have sex again as long as you live. Because I would never again permit it." So there's that. And he goes, yeah, but you wouldn't have to look at it. I would just look at it. I said, just knowing it exists in the world, I would never be at peace, because I know no matter what anyone says to me, no matter what kind of promises you make, that video will accidentally get on the family group chat or my Instagram. So that is
it does happen. I have never done that. I have never done that. And it's funny. I was just thinking about it the other day because I was, taking a video of Mary's squirrels or whatever. And I thought about that and I said, I mean, this is very high quality, it's high res on an iPhone. Never done that. I've never done that. And, for me, it wouldn't work out because by the time I get the lighting right, she's going to have no interest whatsoever anyway.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you, in your head, it looks like a movie that was shot by, I don't know, some really famous
Fellini.
director.
Yeah.
But in reality, you're like, I'm sorry, why are there two manatees wrestling? Like, there's no, like, no. Plus,
listen, I saw a video of me diving off of a diving board once. I sure as hell don't want to see anything else like that.
Video. and I was like, also, like, all day long I perform, and now I have to like perform. Yeah. I don't want any part of it. And for those of you that do this and it really spices up your relationship, I'm really glad for you. I wish I was as uninhibited and confident as y'all are. No amount of emails or DMs or talkbacks will persuade me to do this. I'm just not okay with this. I'm so uncomfortable.
What do you think? What do you think the percentage is of the population? Everybody has, if not an iPhone, a knockoff of an iPhone. So the capability,
I think it's high.
Is right there.
I think it's high.
You think it's high? Oh, I would think it's very low. Really?
I think it's high. I have friends who's like, I have one friend who, for a long time, her husband, his job just took him on the road. He was one of those guys who was gone all the time. And I have nothing but awe and admiration and respect for these two human beings, because there wasn't anything that they weren't up for. Phone, text, pictures, videos. And I was like, right. I'm just not that, I'm an unlucky person. And I would shoot this masterpiece. I would shoot the Manatees at Sunset adult video, and it would get out. I know it would. And
if that many people are engaging in it, though, why are there not more videos that show up online? Because people do get divorced and do get pissed off at each other. But not that many. I've never seen one.
Well, Bob, I think it speaks to you to where you spend your time on the internet, that you're not getting a bunch of revenge porn and amateur porno videos coming your way.
Leave us a talk back with the free Bob and Sheri app.
Hi, friends. This is Sheri Wellman from Charlotte. I was just listening to the Oddcast where Lamar is talking about The Exorcist and how it affected him. And I have to tell you that Lamar, My Exorcist, was the book Salem's Lot. I read that. I was 12 or 13. Had no idea what it was about. I plucked it from a friend's mother's bookcase. Read the book. Terrified myself. I literally, for decades, had nightmares about vampires. I would wrap a blanket around my neck at night for a couple years after that, hung a cross over my bed. Absolutely terrified of vampires. Up until about the time True Blood came out, which I have to say kind of turned me around on the vampire. Anyway, all that to say, I am definitely going to see the remake of Salem's Lot, but it was absolutely My Exorcist. Terrified me to the point I could not sleep for weeks. Hope y'all have a good day. Bye.
How old
I
was she?
had the
Did she
same. She was a teenager. I had the same reaction to. That's a Stephen King book, and the thing in the book that destroys you and makes it impossible to function is the vampires are children and they can float. And, a vampire can only come into your house if you invite it. So you'd be in your bed at night and you'd hear a scratching on your bedroom window. And you'd go to the window and pull back the curtains. And there's some kid from your middle school floating above the ground outside your 2-story bedroom window. And that kid would like to come in and turn you into an immortal undead floating kid too. So the genius of Stephen King is you're in your bed at night and the lights are out and you start being pretty sure you can hear scratching on your window because wind and trees, and that's Stephen King's genius. He takes these mundane, everyday things that you don't even think about and then imbues them with horror so that your everyday world is terrifying. That's the genius of Stephen King.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right. It is. And these are things that you took for granted were going to be safe and part of your childhood or your life, but there's a sinisterness behind them that you didn't realize. And how could you ever forget that, right? Clowns.
Let's look at it. Even if you're a person with a clown phobia and you're like, no, good girl, clowns were always evil. They were never part of my everyday life. I hear you, but listen, how about a red balloon? How about a yellow raincoat? How about a boat made out of paper? Were you terrified of those things before Stephen King rolled up? You weren't.
He's the man.
He made, you can just go chapter and verse on Stephen King. The Shining, a topiary giraffe. Who can make that into something that's the stuff of nightmares? Well, that'd be Stephen King.
That's true. A beautiful hotel in the middle of winter in Colorado. Peaceful, but not anymore. And so now you say to yourself, what's going on in these empty hotels that closed down for the season?
Senior prom. It was fine until Stephen King came along and wrote Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
It's easy to like the devil, the exorcist. The devil does not have any useful day-to-day utility. You don't go, I know the devil's bad, but he plays with the cat. There's nothing good with the devil, right? So in The Exorcist, you're like, oh yeah, that's Lucifer, that's bad stuff. But Stephen King's over there going, yeah, amateurs. Here's a red balloon. And now you're not going to sleep for 3 days. It's just the most genius trick in the Stephen King toolbox. So Sheri, I'm with you. I don't even like to think about those floating middle school vampires in Salem's Lot. This is Bob and Sheri.